You are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, everyone. If you are wondering why it's so hard to see consistent client growth and stand out in the competitive marketplace, this episode is going to help declutter the thinking, give you a roadmap to success. Welcome to Amplify Your Marketing Message. I am your host, Campbell Rapin. I am a business mentor who helps create client growth engines for my clients. It is about understanding the business fundamentals, the strategy and starting point to creating the yes culture, the right buyers, and the right value. And today I really want to talk about how to win in today's marketplace. Because if you are buying into the belief that money is not moving hands and there's a recession and it's sluggy out there, I will tell you it's just crap. It is just a story that you are buying into. And how do I know that? Well, because my clients are winning and my business is winning. And in fact, just last week, I had made an offer to a potential new client for my business. And the first thing she said to me was, "You're worth every penny of that dollar. I need to find a way to say yes because I'm watching you win. And I know by working together, we would win in my business as a partnership." And so if you want to win, here's how you do it. The first thing you need to understand is that value creation is the whole name of the game. Clients do not want to pay for your time. They only want to pay for our results. And so in order for you to get yeses consistently to your offers, you need to understand this basic principle. The eye of the beholder sets the value at a certain number, and your investment has to be below that number so that there is a gap between the value received and the investment paid. If there is no gap, you don't win in the marketplace. You become a luxury item, something that is a nice to have. And if you're not careful and you do this day in, day out, you get caught in the slow lane of business growth and you will starve and run out of runway because your growth dries up. And this is completely avoidable. And it starts by understanding that in order to win, a gap must exist between the investment of our services, the price we choose to charge, and the value on the other side of the equation. And so I want to break this down because even in the world of AI, this is so important. The human connection and the value creation. And so before we even jump any further, I want you to take out a Post-it note or a piece of paper. And I want you to ask this question on it. How do I create value today? And I want you to take that Post-it note and I want you to put it on your workspace, on your computer screen, on your monitor, on your desk, or wherever it is that you find yourself working from. Because the number one attitude you have to win in the marketplace predictably is to challenge yourself every day to raise the standard, to create value. And creation of value doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens between two or more parties. And so if you want to win and you want to see more yeses to your offers, the most important thing you need to know is it's not just your lens in which the world needs to be seen. Because chances are you already see the world through your own lens. It's a given. But the fact that you only see the world through your lens is a problem, and it is hurting your conversion rates. And I can typically tell when a client or a peer or someone who is looking at my services is stuck in the slow lane is when they become the likable expert and not the must hire. And when I hear them make an offer, it gets so focused on the delivery mechanics that of all the words they say, I struggle or cannot find at all the result? Ooh, is that you? Are you so caught when you're making an offer in focusing on the delivery mechanics that you're not focusing enough on the result? Well, if you are, you need to shift that proportion dramatically towards the result because people will only pay for a result. They won't pay because you're cute. They won't pay because you've got great graphics or a website or SEO, or they think, any other superficial, surface level, shiny object. People are not that shallow. Stop being lazy and get focused on value creation. And so instead of focusing on the delivery mechanic, I want you to get very clear on the first question of strategy. Who are you? And equally important, what do you stand for? And when I say what do you stand for, it's what results do people come to you for, expect you to deliver, and you have 100% confidence in your capability to do so. This is the first piece of the building block I work with all of my clients around. When clients come to work with me in the Business Scale Accelerator or in the Ignite Your Client Growth Group program, they all say to me, tell me the words I need to say to get someone to say yes to me. And I say, we'll get to that. Hold your horses. Before we can figure out the words, we need to know the destination. We need to know what result we stand for. We need to know, who are we? What do we stand for? We need to know why we're uniquely qualified to deliver that result, which makes us really clear on why we're the must hire. We need to know how we win in the marketplace to stand out in a way that attracts our next buyer. And we also think about the capability and resources we need to do this, not just once every blue moon, but day in, day out to have consistency in our business. And usually they go, oh, that makes sense. I've never thought about those questions before. And once I start to think about them, this whole client conversion piece gets a hell of a lot easier. So if you're looking for that, I'm going to invite you to explore the options of working with us directly. You can do that on ChristineCampbellRapin.com. Today, though, let's focus on the value creation. So if you're clear, who are you? What do you stand for? I want you to first understand that the value delivery can happen in a couple of different verticals. Those are your different offering types. In my business, it's the one-to-one mentorship or the group program or free resources, which could be my podcast or events that I run. All three of those delivery mechanics get you to the same place, which is who I am and what do I stand for? A client growth engine. But that means people know where the value equation is. I want a client growth engine. It's value to me for this number. And when I'm looking at how do I want to get there, I have different paths to choose from. And the gap exists for each person differently. But the fact I structure it with that clarity means that the yes happens more predictably. And the next buyer is really clear if they're in the right room or the wrong room, and they move on quickly, which means I am not tied to the someday client. I'm tied to the clients of today, and I'm attracting the clients of today. So if you want to get into the minds of your buyer and get out of the lens of just you and your justification through the deliveries to the result, I want you to shift the lens to your buyer. What does your buyer want? Note I didn't say what do they need. I asked you what do they want. And truthfully, when I ask that very simple question, most people when they start working with me cannot answer that. Chances are you right now listening to this podcast might be in the same boat. So if you are, don't get shameful about it. That's okay. It's a point in the sand. If there's a gap, you must fill it. The second most important question to what do they want, which is a result-driven question, is its sibling. What will they pay for? Which is another way to ask what will they value more than the investment to get the result? These are two elegantly simple questions you need to get your head around and embody. if you want to see predictable yeses in your business. They're very simple because they are about how you define your intersection point, the point where you know what they want, why they value it, and you know why you're the right person to bump into them with kindness and invite them to see the other side. Do that predictably, and you will have a client growth engine. And that is the whole strategy of what I take my clients through when they are clients. So if you can see the lens of your next buyer, you are already winning. What you might want to know is then, how do I keep the momentum going? Well, the answer to building momentum is by increasing value. And there are two really simple questions, because I am all about that elegant simplicity. The way I see the world is by thinking about two key questions. Once you have connected at the intersection point with your next buyer, you know what they want, you know what they will pay for, you know why that result's important. The next thing is to think about you in the equation of value creation. Your buyer plus you equals the result predictably, is by asking this. If all you are delivering to your client is knowledge, it's very hard to make a stable business, because knowledge right now in our current economy is so readily available that knowledge isn't enough value to see money moving hands. There's exceptions to that, for sure. But as a general rule of thumb, you can run out of runway or exhaust your resources in order to win if you're selling only on knowledge. My dad always says that's the people, the first level of leadership, those that can gather facts, that's knowledge. The next level of value creation comes when you can say, so what? Really simple question, so what? So you've got to point in the sand. You've got an intersection point. What happens on the other side? Why does even the fact there is another side matter? So what? I want you to cast your lens, have an opinion, and invite people to keep moving to the interpretation of the knowledge. Because knowledge in itself, I said, not valued. Knowledge with an interpretation and a point of view that's strongly held, you caught my imagination. Curiosity is an important criteria to getting a yes. So for you, I want you to be asking yourself, if people want a certain result and they are curious to say, so what, with your communication and your marketing, the next question they're going to be asking is, now what? So I've acquired the knowledge. I've seen your interpretation of it. Tell me what to do. Now what? You've got to be asking these questions first through your own lens and secondly through the lens of your buyer, so that you can build an intentional marketing strategy. Because the three foundations that grow your business, knowing who your buyer is, what do they want, what will they pay for, knowing how to move them predictably through marketing strategy from curious to paid client, and third thing that grows your business is value creation. That means a result is offered and a yes happens. Now what? It is elegantly simple to win in the marketplace today. It is not when you get stuck justifying yourself, because justifying yourself gets about the tactic and not the result. If you don't know where your client is and their starting point, how can you ever intersect it? You must have a strategy. You must have a game plan. And you must understand what motivates people. Because in today's competitive marketplace, we are not country bumpkins who really truly believe that I could take a magic pill and get where I want to go. Because truthfully, I've tried them all. They don't work. I'm not asking as a buyer for it to be easy. And I know you hear a lot of people sell on ease. Well, they're selling to the converted. They're not selling to new buyers. And truthfully, I think they're struggling because of that gap. We are not looking for ease. So stop selling your business on ease. Think about the value creation because it answers the question, if they're not selling for ease, what are they selling for? What are they buying for? I'm buying when the value is greater than the investment level. What does that mean? So what? What now? It means this. It's worth it. Everyone you know, your next buyer, your next staff member, your next peer, your next partner, is all asking this question: create value for me and tell me it's worth it. And when you want to win predictably in business, it is because you're clear on your value, you understand what the moving pieces are, and it is worth it to all the parties at the table. If it's not valued, if it's not worth it, you're a someday luxury and you will go broke and run out of runway as a business owner. And that's an optional choice. I want to invite you to step off that lane, get out of it. It's not serving you. And start thinking more clearly to that Post-it note I asked you to create. The one that's now sitting on your workspace that says, how do I create value today? What do I stand for? What's the lens in which the result can be portrayed to the next buyer that captures their imagination? And as I start them moving, I can get them consistently staying in motion, which is how momentum is built, by saying, you got the knowledge, congratulations, but knowledge isn't going to get us paid or get us the result. So what? What do we do with that knowledge? And now what? What steps do we take next? If you break down your business in these fundamental pathways, I challenge you to not have consistent client growth. I've never seen it happen. It's that elegantly simple. So today on Amplify Your Marketing Message, if you want to make more clients, you want to see more revenue, you want to embrace this simplicity, go back to your value equation. Think about how you communicate results, because they're the only thing that makes money move hands, and really understand the intersection point of where your client of today is standing when you make the offer. Business can be that simple. We're not looking for effortless. We're saying it's worth it. And if this whole episode makes you think, yikes, I've got gaps all over the place, well, my invitation is to come explore our services. Value is created in my business by helping peers, business owners like you, create a client growth engine. We figure out our business strategy. We get clear focusing around the 2 non-negotiables that lead to revenue and profitability. And we get fundamentally focused on 3 non-negotiables: buyers, marketing strategy, and the offer. Because when we do that, my clients build empires. It takes effort. And there's not a single client I have had, do have, or will have that hasn't come to me and said, it is worth it to have the resources, the support, and the guidance of you in my corner. I want you to win. Take this roadmap and run with it. And do me one gold favor. Drop me a note. You can find me on ChristineCampbellRapin.com and tell me how you've won and what you shifted by listening to this episode. I can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the inside. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.